Hello, I'm Archie Luxury and welcome to the program. Today's video is about having an interview for a job, particularly a government job, and how do you answer your questions in the interview. And Archie's 40 and he's attended many interviews, some not so successful and some very successful, and I've learnt off Pat what to say and do. So I'm going to share this wisdom with my YouTube viewers and friends. And firstly, let me start. I'm going to use a few examples here, and let's begin. Firstly, when you're in an interview situation, always give them the answer you think they want to hear. Okay, it doesn't matter if you're in the Ku Klux Klan, if you're a fundamental Christian, it doesn't fucking matter. You got to give them the answer they want to hear. The next thing is that when you're in an interview situation, they always want someone who's slightly dumber than them. So never be too smart. Always be humble and always, try and be dumber than them, because they're not going to employ anyone who's smarter than them. It's basic human survival instinct. And, the most important thing is always give them the answers they want to hear. And, you may want to put a fucking coat hanger through the interviewer's ear and pull it out through his mouth, okay? I've been there many times. But you just be nice, polite, and give them the answers you think they want to hear. And once you've got the job, you can reveal the truth down the track, preferably after your probation is finished. But, until you get the job, you got to give them what they want to hear. Now, the thing is this, when you're going for government jobs, always wear clothes which are slightly nerdy and out of date. You don't want the latest fashions, you want, 5 to 10 year old, fashion styles, Go for things that are vulgarly out of date without being on the obscene side. The next thing you want to do is you want to be humble, and you've got to use words like transparent. Oh, I like to be transparent. I'm a team player, team builder, all that usual mumbo-jumbo bullshit. And I got to say this honestly to you. Whatever you do, don't ever tell those fuckers the truth. I remember I was working for a government department. It was emergency services. And I remember my boss, Brett Stenson, you fucking tattooed bastard! And anyhow, Brett Stenson was my boss, you bastard! And Brett Stenson, he happened to see I had my keyring on the desk. I mean, I normally don't take my car to work, but I did because I was getting the windows tinted. It was an Alfa Romeo. And fuck! Any of these people, they get so jealous when you've got something a little bit luxurious or prestigious. And he looked at me and said, "Do you have an Alfa Romeo, Paul?" And I said, "Oh, it's my wife's." Nah. As soon as he saw a fucking fancy European exotic car keyring, I was fucked. The bastard didn't fucking renew me, you fucking tattooed freak. And the other thing is, too, is that you've got to be very, very, you never make it seem that you're interested in the money. And I remember once I got a job at this company, and I remember said to them, this is a great line, you can use it, I'm not so concerned about the money. I want to work at a place which has a good team spirit, and it's a company that I can have a career with. That was a great line. Many months later, "Jane, you bitch!" she said to me, "How come you're so fucking money hungry?" She said to me, "In the interview, you said you weren't concerned about money." I said, "Jane, that was fucking when I was trying to get the job." I mean, you don't tell the truth when you're trying to get the job. I told you what you wanted to fucking hear, and the reality is I want money or status. So never ever fucking tell them the truth. The other thing is, too, is that it's always very handy to set the record straight. I remember I went in with one boss who tried to pinch my company car off me. And I said to him, just before we start this interview process, this was my manager, I said, "I want to tell you something. I'm a prostitute. I do things for money and status. I said, you give me a company car with a leather interior, I will fucking kill someone for you. You take the fucking car away, don't give me a bag of cash, I will fucking scream blue murder. And it's always good, you know, because sometimes these companies, they're just mean, nasty fuckers. And it's always good to set the record straight. That line, I'm a complete prostitute, I do things for money or status, is a great line. And I remember at one stage, this same fuckwit manager, David Dozer, you prick, said to me, because I had to use my own personal... This was after the bastard stole my company car. I had to use my own car once. And I said to him, how do I claim it? How do I claim the kilometres? And he said to me, he's spoken to HR, and they said it's best for you to put it on your tax. And I said, David, let me explain something to you. My father is a tax attorney. Okay? If I earn $1 million a year, I've got a huge tax problem. If I earn $5,000 a year, I don't have a tax problem. I said, David, I want that sort of problem. Okay? Don't worry about my tax problems. I've got a trust, a PTY Ltd company, and a fucking huge variety of financial animals which can take care of the tax. But as far as I'm concerned, I want as much loot as fucking possible. Again, I said to him, I'm a prostitute, I do things for money or status. And that set the ball rolling. You've got to be very, very truthful once you've passed your probation. You just fucking tell him that you're after money or status. It's always a great line to use. And the other thing is that always when you're in an interview, be humble, be polite, and give them the answers they want to hear. That's a great way to get a job. Never tell them the truth. Never tell them the truth. And that should keep you in good stead there. And it's often very handy there. I remember one time I was in an interview. This was for Mincom, and the guy said to me, do you think, because I work in the IT industry, he said, do you think you're a computer geek or a computer nerd? And I said, excuse me? He said, do you think you're a computer geek or a computer nerd? We asked this question of everyone. And I said to him, young man, I'm wearing a fucking $30,000 Patek Philippe wristwatch on my wrist. My fountain pen was $3,000. I said, do I look like a fucking nerd or a fucking geek to you? Suffice to say, I didn't get the job. So always, humor these mean fuckers. You mean fuckers at Mincom, you can fuck yourself. I'm Archie Luxury. I hope these employment tips have been useful. See you later!